right, let's see. You got a little open road here. Not bad, nothing special. You probably won't get too many speeding tickets in this car. That's a nice way of saying it ain't that fast. I am in a BMW X1 28i. It is the lowest model of BMW SUV that you can buy. The cheapest, lowest SUV. And yet, it's my first minute in the car. I literally turned the camera on as I got in. I'm blown away. I gotta say, for the bottom of the line, cheapest car from BMW that's in an SUV, this thing is great value for the money, I think. I don't know how much it actually costs, but if you're buying the cheapest car from BMW that's an SUV, this is great, honestly. First thing I notice, right when I get in the car, steering, pretty good. Not as good as the M cars, but pretty good. I'm gonna make this turn here. The acceleration, like a typical car. It feels like a 4-cylinder. I have no idea if it is or isn't. I assume it's turbocharged like most BMWs. I don't know if this one is. 2.8 is the number, 28i. It's probably 2.8 liter engine, which implies a 6-cylinder. I don't know what's in the car. Its acceleration is definitely decent, but it's not amazing. It's definitely not amazing. There is like not that big excitement factor, but it's certainly not boring. This is not boring at all. Interior is gorgeous. Look at this. For a cheap bottom of the line car, this is a beautiful interior. You have, hold on, just crossing an intersection here. You have the exposed stitching on the almost white leather. It's like an off-white color leather. This fake wood that looks very beautiful, honestly. Full glass roof across the whole car. You can't see that, I guess, in the camera, but the whole ceiling is glass. Really nice car. I mean, this does not feel like an entry-level vehicle. Really, it's a very well-designed car. Now, bumps, it feels like a rigid suspension. It don't feel good. It does not feel BMW-like in the suspension. Handling is decent, but it doesn't feel amazing. Suspension, bumps, like absorbing the bumps, does not feel like a regular BMW. It feels like a typical Japanese cheap car, honestly, the suspension. However, it looks great. The seats are incredibly comfortable with a lot more adjustments. In fact, I've been in the X2 M35i, and this seat is better in the X1. Much better. It positions you in all sorts of ways, has many different controls down here. Phenomenal seating position. I'm super comfortable. It hugs me, the seat, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable. Very, very good seating position, ergonomics. Adjustable steering is manual and it only goes up and down. It does not go in and out at all. I don't love that. Hold on, I gotta make a turn here. Alrighty. But I gotta say, if you're gonna buy a bottom of the line, bottom of the barrel car from BMW, this is it. I have the tire pressure sensor warning that just turned on. That's probably not a fault of the car, it's the tire, I assume. It seems to be okay, but it did concern me because it says it says maximum speed 80 miles per hour. Now, is that just a suggestion, or is it gonna put a limit on there? I don't know. I don't plan on going that fast in New York City. However, if I wanted to, I'd like to think the car would let me. So, you know, like, wow, yeah, bump absorption, not a winner. This is not a winner in absorbing the bumps here. Holy cow, it's a bumpy ride. Oh, wow. Okay, so you wouldn't off-road this car. Normally, I love SUVs off-road. I think that they're super fun when you hit bumps and stuff. I'm not even going to try with this one because if right now in the New York City potholes it's uncomfortable, it's going to be very... What is this guy doing? He's coming to a stop in the road. It's going to be downright painful with off-roading this thing. Your spine would just be feeling it. That doesn't mean the car's not capable, but you feel every little bump in this car. Yeah, the suspension is the downside. There is no obvious way to adjust it within the system here. Like in the higher end BMWs, you could put all sorts of settings in here. Actually, what I hit here, it says the tire pressures, they all look good. 32, 33, 34. I don't know why it's giving me a low pressure warning. Unless in this car that's really low, but that's in general, that's normal tire pressures. There's not much going on the gauges here. The other BMWs have more options. I've got it in full sport, as much as it does, and the only option you have is this, the sport display. There is no option to change anything. It just shows you horsepower and foot-pounds of torque, and it doesn't do anything. If there is a way to change it, I don't know how. But either way, I think this car is great. Sounds nice. Doesn't sound amazing. It sounds like any other typical low-end engine, honestly. It doesn't sound that amazing, but it certainly doesn't sound slow. It doesn't go that fast. It's just okay, but it's fun. It's a fun car to drive. It's not bad. It's not bad in anything, honestly. There's nothing here bad other than the absorbing of the bumps. This is terrible. That's terrible. I mean, I'm in New York, so maybe that's a little bit more significant, where people from other parts of the country or world, it may not matter as much, the bump absorption, but here it's just you're hitting potholes all day long, and this isn't fun. Like even now, even at slow speeds, I'm at idle basically. It feels like you're on a boat rocking back and forth. Let's see, there is no button for steering wheel heater. I don't know if that's an option, but this car doesn't have it. It does have a button for seat heaters. I think that's heaters. It might be cooled seats, but there's no adjustment, meaning there's no button to switch between cooled and heat. It just says one icon. I'm so warm in this car, and I don't want to open the windows and mess up the audio on the recording, so I'm not going to mess with that in case it is seat heat. It's going to make me all toasty. If I try to shut off the collision safety precaution things, it only gives you the option to shut off the warnings. I don't know if there's anything else. It says all systems deactivated. Hopefully I deactivated it. I don't like those things, the precaution systems. I like them off. Someone else probably wants them on. Old school driver. First thing I do in any BMW that's modern is I shut all that junk off. I don't need that. I want the raw driving experience. I'm driving the car. I don't want the car driving me. This car is really pretty. Oh, these gauges are real gauges with an electronic screen behind it. That's interesting. Maybe they're all like that. You know, I don't think I ever stuck my finger in there to feel it. But this is a circular gauge over here, the dashboard part. Let's see. The car itself, it's good value. Let's see. That glove compartment, normal glove compartment. Man, I'm in a lousy place to drive a car. It's like a lot of traffic here. How do we get out of here? Come to think of it. All right, I'm going to try to get off of this. There's got to be a way out. Oh, okay. Highway coming up. All right, so overall, I don't really know what to say. The armrest is tiny. It's the exact same armrest that was in the X2. In fact, the car looks very much like an X2. I don't think I could tell them apart. If I don't read the symbol on it, the X2 and this car look basically the same. The leather trim is very different, but I drove the X2 M35i. This is not an M car. This is the standard X1 28i. God, these naming conventions are like miserable on your memory. Like you can't even remember the name of the car you're in. But they look exactly the same other than the trim differences. This is very weird ergonomics here. The mirror control is right here in the arm thing. Now, if you own the car, no problem. But if you just get in it, it's pretty awkward to get your hand in there to adjust the mirrors. If you own the car and you're never changing the mirrors, it's not really an issue. But when you get in someone else's car, you can't really get your fingers in there. So you're doing it using tactile, meaning you're just feeling your way around the buttons here because of the armrest handle here. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that in the camera. It's a little weird, not bad. There's a little button here. Oh, that's a 0 for the odometer. Okay. Let's see, what other thing? We got electronic gauges, sport mode. There's no paddles. I just realized it's missing the paddles. Okay, that's another difference from the X2. The X2 has paddles over there. This has none. I personally prefer to use the shift knob than the paddles in any car, not specific to the BMW. So for me, I'm not heartbroken because it does have manual shift with the knob. Like here, and that's M1. Let's see how many gears are in this thing. 6 gears, 7 gears, 8 gears. Okay. And then, of course, it doesn't let you start off in 8th gear. But either way, as soon as I put in 8th gear, switch me back to M2, and I'm going to move it to M1, give me a little more power. Let's see what else. It has some symbol like a battery, efficient dynamics. I'm wondering if there's like some kind of hybrid something in this car. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be an all gasoline car. Anyone knows what that is? Stick it in the comments. What the heck is this efficient hybrid with an electric icon here? Does this thing have an electric start? I don't know about it. It's not supposed to be a hybrid car. It's supposed to be a regular, cheapo, old school gasoline car. This guy's taking too long. It's not bad, honestly. The pickup is decent. It's nothing. You're not going to win any land speed records, but you're certainly not going to be slow. It's certainly not slow, so that's good. I'm going this way anyway. I don't need to wait behind these cars. All right. Oh, come on, he's in 2 lanes. I'm gonna go through here, make a little shortcut. Let's go this way. Oh man, look at the price of gas in New York. It's almost $5 a gallon. That's crazy. Look at what the world has come to. Gasoline, $5 a gallon in the United States. Europe is much more than that, but for US, that's absolutely astronomical. All right, let's go. I've been parts of the world where gasoline is $12 a gallon. That's crazy, right? All right, let's see. You got a little open road here. Not bad, nothing special. You probably won't get too many speeding tickets in this car. That's a nice way of saying it ain't that fast. All right, let me put it back out of the manual shifting mode and back into the regular sport mode. All right. You ain't gonna get too many speeding tickets in this car. If you do, you're pretty aggressive with it because it's not that fast. I got news for you. It's not bad. It's not slow. No one's gonna say this car's slow, but it's nothing so special. If you've driven any BMW, you've probably driven a faster car than this. You got a little bit of open road once the light turns green. Let's see how this X1 can do. Let's see what it can do. Man, that's a long light. Here we go. That's the floor. That's not so amazing. It's not boring. I definitely wouldn't call that boring, but it's not that fun. It's like any other car. Honestly, the acceleration on this thing is literally like any other car. There is nothing unique or special or BMW-like about the acceleration in this car. I have a cloverleaf on-ramp coming up. Let's get, once the cars in front of me clear out, we're gonna see how well this can handle the tight turns at speed, okay? Let's see how this does on the cloverleaf. I'm hitting it pretty quick, actually, so it's all right. So let's see how it goes from the beginning. Oh, that's really sliding. That's a bad slide. I don't like that. Didn't feel controllable. I had to hit the brakes a little bit. That's a lot of gas to not go very fast. Okay, acceleration, nothing special, not slow, not fast, somewhere in the middle. Handling, that when you on a hard turn, that wasn't making me, it wasn't bad, it wasn't not at all bad, but it didn't inspire confidence to really hit it hard. It started to tail in a way that I didn't feel that was controllable, so I let off the gas. Some of the other BMWs, the car feels more grounded to the point where you feel like I'm afraid to hit it hard, but the car is just fine with it. This was the reverse. Car started sliding way before my brazenness gave out. I would have happily gone faster than that, but the car wasn't having it. You know, so straight up, the car was like, I ain't having it. So all right, it's all right. It's not a sports car. It's not really big as an SUV. It's a small car. And don't sound that great, but it looks good. I don't know who this is for, honestly, because it's not a cheap car. Also, like it's not like you're buying a $10,000, $12,000 car here. I don't know who would buy this car, honestly. I'm struggling to find the market for this car. Like, it's very easy to drive. It would be a great first car. That's what it is. This is a perfect first car for somebody. It's very easy to control. It's got the right balance of enough power to make it so it's not boring or anything. It's a fun car, but it's not gonna give you. It's not so much power that you're gonna get in trouble with it because you don't know what to do with all that power. It's not a bad car, honestly. It's not bad at all. Just not amazing. It does not have the Auto P feature. I hate that they stripped that out of the lowest end BMWs. Auto P is what the old school name was. Now they call it Auto H. For those who don't know what that means, it means when you come to a full stop, the car applies the park and brake automatically, and by doing that, you can take your foot off of the brake pedal, and the car stands still until you touch the gas pedal. It's great. It's the most wonderful feature. Mercedes has a variation that their system doesn't work automatically. You have to engage it manually by mashing the brake pedal to the floor while you're standing still, which I find a little bit barbaric. You have to like jam your foot into the floor, but it does work, and it does work essentially the same. It's just not as automated. The BMW system is better, in my opinion. However, the BMW system engages every time you stop automatically, where the Mercedes one, you have to engage it manually for, you know, better or worse. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Either way, this car is really, really good. I gotta say, for a cheap, I keep saying cheap, I don't know what this thing cost. They described it to me as cheap because it's the bottom of the line, bottom of the barrel BMW. And if this is the bottom of the barrel, this is pretty freaking good. Let's be real. This is really, really good value for a bottom of the line car. I imagine bottom of the line BMW is still not cheap, but whatever. Heads up display, looks pretty crystal clear. I've grown to tolerate them. I don't like them. I find them distracting in my line of sight. Again, old school driver. I think I'm in the minority on that one. I think most people love these heads-up display things. They've been around for ages. I mean, cars have had them for, I think, like 30 years. The first heads-up display was probably 30 years ago. I just don't care for it. I don't need it. I can see the speedometer here. Why do I have to have it in my line of sight up there? So be it. It's becoming a standard thing with BMWs and a lot of high-end cars to have that. Whatever. I think you could turn it off. I don't know how. If I owned the car, I would turn it off. But it's not really bothersome where it's at. It gives you like this prismatic appearance. That's I think part of what bothers me. When you move your head a little bit this way or that way, it kind of goes in and out of focus. It's kind of weird. It's like those lenticular images that when you change the line of sight, they look a little different. So this is kind of what that does. I gotta say though, man, X1, this is quite the car. Quite the car. There's not that much going on here. There's not really too many toys to play with. You have all the normal air conditioning with real buttons, which is always welcome. God, those to go through the touch screen while you're driving to turn the air conditioner off or the heating on or whatever is ridiculous. I don't know why cars do that. This one has mechanical buttons. I'm sure you could probably do it from the electronics too. That's great. Steering wheel feel beautiful. Absolutely great shape, ergonomic shape to it. I don't care for the aesthetics of a three stalk is not the right word. The 3-stem steering wheel, but aesthetics aside, it's certainly nice. It's just not my taste. Hold up, guys, crowding me, man. Don't crowd me. Don't crowd me. Oh wow. Look how close people drive in New York. It's so close to the other cars. That's normal here. It's so crazy how tight and you can't even see it from your camera. There's someone on the other side equally close to me. This is what it is. Right now I'm in a dark, I'm under a trestle. Because you have the glass roof, there's still ambient light coming through, natural ambient light, which is beautiful. It makes it nice in here. The glass roof goes all the way to the rear of the car. The back seat behind me has like that much space, which is a little on the cramped side, but I'm a big guy sitting comfortably in the front, so comes with the territory when it's a small little car. Let's get out of here. I gotta get some light. I need some more light to make this video more interesting. All right. Give it that's nothing. That was at the floor. Yeah, this car's not quick. It's a nice car. It's a great car, but it ain't quick. No way is that quick. All right, let me get on a highway here. Oh, look at the highway demonstration. It's like deep traffic, but all right, it is what it is, you know. So be it. All right, so I do like the car. That's at the floor right now. Nothing special. It's not that the sound the car makes sounds like any other low-end car. It doesn't make a good sound, whereas the X2 M35i had a beautiful tone. Honestly, that was like the way cars are supposed to sound when they're fun. This sounds like any other car. That sound you hear is not this car, it's the truck's Jake brake over there. That sounded good. It sounds better than the engine on this car. It's alright, you know. If you are looking for an entry-level BMW, I would say this is fine. I definitely wouldn't want this for myself. I wouldn't complain if someone handed me one. I certainly would be totally fine with it. It's not boring, whereas some of the other cars I've driven. Yeah, don't use low-end GoPro mounts. I said a GoPro fell off the glass ceiling. Either way, I wouldn't choose this car for myself. I'd rather a bigger car. I'd rather a higher-end car. Naturally, so would anybody buying a entry-level vehicle. So that comes with the territory. But for an entry-level car, it is really quite good. It's not amazing. It's just very good. It's very pretty. It's a beautiful interior. got a lot of nice features to it, but definitely not as nice as some of the higher end cars. It's missing so many key features that most BMWs have. There's no paddles, there's no auto H where it stands still, there's no ability to adjust the driving dynamics, but it's a beautiful car. And I don't know what else to say. I'm in traffic, so I can't even show the car off. The suspension's lousy. This straight up lousy. Now, lousy not in terms of handling. The handling seems just okay. Nothing special, nothing bad. I'm talking about in terms of absorbing bumps. Look at this guy. He wants to get in. New York City cabbies. The suspension is the big downer. Honestly, it's just, you're feeling every bump in your spine. And that for New York driving isn't great. It's extremely easy to drive. If you're looking for a car that's not going to be hard to drive, like for someone who's maybe not that experienced of a driver, this really does respond to what you do. It's very predictable. It's very small, and this is one of the few cars you can kind of see the corners of the hoods. Most cars today you can't see that, so you can actually see how wide the car is and stuff like that. It's very easy to drive, this car, easier than most. Some BMWs are notoriously hard to drive. Like if you're not an experienced driver, you're gonna feel like you're guessing on a lot of dimensions of the car. This is the opposite. It's super easy to drive. So far, so good. I got nothing else to say, and I can't show off the car because of the traffic. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to cut it short. And thank you for like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching the video. I think this is a fine car, this X1. All right. See you all in the next video. Peace out.
Yo, 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 yo.